When it comes to the inlocate, if you aren't coming off the ground smoothly, everything else only becomes harder. For that reason, we like to start with the loading phase, where the goal is to get the flyer on top of the base.
First, we're going to talk about the flyer's jump. There are many right ways to do this, but as a starting point, I like to have the flyers start with their feet together. And to initiate the jump, we go up on our toes. The goal is for the flyer to jump straight up as high as possible, given these constraints. By having the feet together, we are encouraging a shallow knee bend before the jump, which is helpful because an overly deep bend makes it harder for the base to get underneath the flyer. Coming up on the toes is a nice timing mechanism that also encourages the flyer to rebound into their jump.
As a base here, our goal is to simply augment the flyer's jump. To start, I like to have the base standing up straight with the hands loosely on the flyer's hips. The flyer is going to grab the base's wrists, and now we're both going to be focusing on getting the flyer as high as possible. By having the hands on the waist like this, it removes the need to worry about finding the hand-to-hand grip and allows both of us to focus on just getting as high as possible. I'm not just lifting my flyer overhead, I'm getting ready to throw them. Getting low enough can be a bit of a challenge depending on proportions. There are a few levers that we can pull here. For flyers, we can try bending less and adding a slight backwards direction to the jump. Bases can try staggering their feet and using more of a B-stand squat or lunge pattern in order to get underneath the flyer. For really big height discrepancies, we might need to accept that the flyer won't get all the way on top of the base until the base has partially stood up. This is okay as long as we are still both focused on helping the flyer jump as high as possible. The next thing we like to introduce is to actually throw the flyer at the top. The base is trying to throw the flyer as high as they can, and the flyer is actively throwing themselves off of the wrists. This intent is a key component to making your actual inlocate feel smooth. The most common error I see with bases during this skill is decelerating as they straighten out their arms. If you do this, your flyer is going to be stuck doing a press handstand instead of an inlocate. What we want to do is focusing on following through and throwing the flyer's hips as high as we can. If you're still struggling to get height on this drill, the answer is often strength training. We have free beginner programs for bases and flyers on explainingacro.com, but if you want to do a bit more targeted approach, for bases we can be mostly focusing on things like front squats, push presses, and thrusters.